faces, but then a lot of faces I recognize, so it's good to see such a good crowd. Today, instead of bringing art or students, I brought a book that I made from all the photos that were taken from the event. So I'm going to go ahead and start passing this around so you can look at it while I'm talking. At the beginning, there's photos of artwork that was brought over to the high school before our event. Our event was on November 17th. And by each of the schools, and then we put it up, and when the kids get there that day, it's already put up, it's already been judged. And that's the first part of this event. So it's a dual function. We have the art show and then the art exhibition, or I guess it's the art exhibition and the art competition. So then once all the kids get there and there's some pictures of all the students there, I'll tell you what, we had more students, more parents, more teachers, admin from other districts that came and saw the event this year. Every single year, and I think this is the 15th year, every year we have more interest in it. As colleges, and I can think of multiple colleges that we used to go to competitions for that aren't doing anymore. Avila is one of them. And Avila, even for a while, they were backing us and saying, you know, since we're not doing ours, we want to back yours because all those schools go there, and they were giving away scholarships when COVID happened, that kind of. We're still trying to recover. But it was awesome to see so many people packing in. I don't know if you've been to the high school or the library media area. That place was packed. Standing room only. All the chairs were full. The floor was full. It was almost overwhelming standing up there on that stage this year just to sit there and look at what was happening. Because I remember the very first year that we had it, and we just had 4 schools, I think, something like that came, okay? So there's pictures of that where you can see the kids that are there. There's some pictures, and I know they're kind of small because I want to put so many of them, because I took so many pictures of the different rooms and the different stages of them drawing and creating. But there's pictures of the kids working on the competition. For those of you that don't know that, what that is about, for an hour and a half, these schools bring these kids, and that hour and a half, they're actually creating art in our classrooms. So we have a printmaking classroom where there's kids creating prints. If you don't know anything about that, they have to carve into, you know, a linoleum, ink it, print it. It's a process that takes time, so they have to work quick. They don't even know what they're going to cut out until we give them the theme when they get there. So there's no pre-planning in this. Then we have our painting room. We're painting still life. There's cupcakes in there. You can see a picture of some of my students. I said, hey guys, I need to go check and make sure if everything else is okay. Can you decorate these cupcakes? So I bought some cupcakes, but I brought fruits and syrups and stuff, so they had these crazy looking cupcakes that these kids were painting. And there's pictures of the paintings that came from it. We have the figure drawing room. You know, we only had 3 of us art teachers there this year, and we had 5 different competitions going. So I had other former students coming in and helping me run those rooms. So these kids, even though they're already off in college, they're like, hey, when is this event? Do you need help? Because they loved it, they enjoyed it, and they want to come back. So that's pretty cool too. And I have a side note, I need to remind myself to tell you at the end of this. It's really cool about that too. Okay, so then we have our drawing still life room. Again, those kids have no idea what they're drawing till they get there, and then they create for an hour and a half. In our clay room, we have wheel throwing, and then we have hand building. We can only have about 10 kids come in and wheel throwing every year. It just seems to be that we don't have a problem, even though we cap it off at 10, because that's how many wheels we have. Usually there's some schools that don't send somebody for that. That's the one competition we only allow 1 person per school max, because we want to make sure everybody that can create in there. So all this is going on for an hour and a half. There, we have our judges that come from different universities. I have them listed in there too on one of the pages, I think on the first page. But then at the end of the hour and a half, we kick all the students out. They go back to the library, and they're sitting there nervous, waiting, chitter-chatting, you know, eating a snack, whatever. And then our judges go through and pick those winners for each of those competitions, and then we hand out art supply prizes and ribbons. So if they get picked for either the show or the competition as a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place in any of the categories, they get this year they got a bag of supplies. A lot of times it was anywhere from 2 to 5 or 6 different items that, you know, help with, if it's drawing, maybe they're drawing pens and drawing pencils and drawing pads and stuff like that. For printmaking, it's ink, cutting, so they have their own tools. They can actually create this at home and not have to rely on just the school material. It's time for those kids to have these things. That's where your funds come into play. You help us buy those things. So you help us buy the ribbons, you help us buy the supplies that we can get for prizes. I know of no other competition where kids go away with these big old ribbons and art supplies, and I mean, they're so excited when they get these. It cracked me up this year because there was this one school, I can't remember which school it was. It might have been the Shawnee Mission or Blue Ridge, Blue Valley. school, and every time one of their kids won, they're like, you know, you hear this inhale and breath, like, and I was like, are you guys ready? Because I'm announcing another one. It was so cute. But this genuine excitement and happiness and stuff, just to see these kids so excited about this. And it was kind of fun because at the end of the night, you know, we have a trophy that travels from school to school. The top school, or the school that got the most points throughout the night. So if they got a first place for something, they got 3 points. If they got second place, they got 2 points. Third place, they got 1 point for their school. And then the school that got the most points at the end of the night gets that traveling trophy. Guess who got the traveling trophy? The inhaling, excited, you know, it was so excited. They jumped, and they were the closest one to me, just happened to be where they were sitting. Jumped up in the air, I got hugs. I mean, they were so excited about the evening. But that's why I brought that book, because even though I bring art projects here, and I brought students here, you guys, a lot of you have never seen how many kids it really impacts. And this year, it was the top, the highest number of attendance. I was meeting former art department chairs from other schools that have just joined us, that they never got to be part of it, but they wanted to come because they had heard their school was coming. I mean, it was crazy just to see how many people came. Now, the little side note that I wanted to tell you about that I mentioned earlier, one of those kids that I had, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, she was involved in this competition 2 years in a row. 2 years ago, when I needed somebody to fill in for a teacher that was sick and couldn't be involved, she filled in at the last second. She came, she goes, okay, Hellums, what do you need me to do? I said, well, she was supposed to do this, I need you to do this, and this. She goes, I got it. And you know, she'd been involved for 2 years, so she knew what was happening. She went and took care of it. I never had to worry about it, and she was coming at the end of the night, what do you need me to clean up? You know, guess who's gonna be our new art teacher next year that's replacing a teacher that's leaving? So she got her art degree, and now I think she taught 1 year in Belton, and we had a position open up because the teacher's moving back to St. Louis, and we have her back into our art department. So I'm so excited about it because I know she's a great person and a very talented artist and driven for the kids, and she's going to be helping with the competition. Hannah Horton. So she grew up in Ray-Pec. She has a brother at the high school right now as a student, and her mom works at the high school in the special ed classes. So anyway, maybe I'll bring her with me next year.
Yeah.
She could tell you of her experience as a student and as a teacher. I think I just told you a lot of information. So do you have any questions?
Art show. When is your next art show?
Okay.
That you can go down and just walk in and see the stuff.
Well, I haven't picked a date, but I need to. Very soon. It'll be either end of April or May, but I'm collecting artwork from all the students, and we'll definitely have that. We try to have it along with the timing of a theater production because it brings more people from the community in to see it. So I need to talk to Mr. Schnocki and say, hey, when's that theater production?
And then let us know so we can distribute it through the.
Okay. Yeah.